So this project, essentially all we had, and I'm including my friend who's building a much better model than I'm building, but a much more detailed model, I should say. But this is basically all we had. The few photos, including the one with the crane, and the plans. So he managed to get the plans. So these are the actual plans of the hydroplane. And this is what I've based my model on, just with my, minimal training in actual boat building and just taking the measurements off. And so I've basically just done this. I think it's going to be 1:6 scale when it's finished. But essentially, I've just done the frames, tried to measure them off this plan, and tried to space them out in the way, and then do the bow in that shape. Obviously there's not everything you need, so you have to use the photos as well, but you just try the best you can. I'm not really that fussed about how accurate it is to the original. It's just a nice concept. I love the hydroplane. So that's the Liberty V12. And something that big, you just got to figure out how to power it. So that's why when I saw the Ohlsson Rice, I just grabbed it straight away, and I thought, yeah, that's it. I got it off Facebook. It was a little bit pricey, but it was so cute, and I just, when I saw it, I just loved it. It's great, and it's so tiny. I was amazed about it, and they used to use it in boats. And my mate Ken said to me, he said, "Oh, I remember when I went to Centennial Park when I was a little kid, and I used to see this boat called White Heat. And it had the Ohlsson Rice engine in it, and it used to race around, and it had that silly little V8 muffler thing, and it all just sort of fell into place." So this is where I'm up to with the build. As you can see, it's just a bit of a mock-up with the engine so far. This beautiful Ohlsson Rice 2-stroke, 3¼ horsepower. So apparently the diaphragm here is faulty. I was told by the guy I bought it off, and also the coil. You can see the coil's got a bit of oozing, whatever that is, oozing out. So he's told me that it needs a new coil and needs a new diaphragm there. Also, there's a bit of an issue with the throttle. It's basically on-off, I think, so I'd have to do something there with the carby. As you can see, if you can actually see, the fuel tank is right there, so it's all just complete. It's beautiful. I've tried to stay true to the design, but it has sort of changed a bit by its own. I'm not a perfectionist, but you can see there's the beautiful step hull there, hydroplane hull. I've basically got to do the nose for the bow, so I'm going to do a solid bow. I haven't figured out what material yet, and then I'll just carve it to shape. You can see the shape of the bottom of the hull is quite sort of sexy in a way. I don't know, it just sort of worked out like that. I'm not sure I wasn't. It sort of took on a life of its own, I must admit. But anyway, so this is as far as I've got. I've also got this piece. It's from an old fan, ceiling fan, and I just wanted to use it. So I was thinking of just using it as a top bit there. So basically, all the timber and pretty much everything I've used there, except for the engine. I did buy the engine. Everything else has just come straight out of the shop from scrap timber. So that in itself has been one of the aims. So that's where I'm up to so far. Oh, and I've got the little seat here, obviously. So I'm going to take that to my mate and see if I can get that upholstered. And I've got this very sexy little uni joint. It's probably not appropriate, but for the moment it looks good, and that's just going to sit there.